Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the brewery. I guess I'll start out with that. And now we're about to play some of the original Sonic the Hedgehog. I only did I call it arcade action, but it's more, kind of the same concept as in a way. Let's just get started. As a trial run from the previous gaming channel I did. So anyway, now we're about to play Sonic the Hedgehog. The original. But the 360 version, playing it on Xbox One. Anyway, so, like I said, I only played a little bit of it on the previous gaming channel. But, obviously I didn't continue with that. Single player. Yes, I was signed into another thing. Let's see. Let's get the title screen out of the way. This is a bit different. And new game. Yeah, we'll do the cloud because apparently it'd be too hard for Xbox to use the other thing. Turn up the TV. But yeah, I just felt like, you know what? I haven't played the full game before on the channel. Let's see. But to make it different, I'm just keeping the smoothing thing on it. I think this came out after, this came out after the Sega, or the Sonic's Ultimate Genesis Collection. Which actually had Sonic 3 and Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles. But for some odd reason, it didn't have Sonic and Knuckles. Or, excuse me, Sonic 3 and Knuckles. It was kind of weird. Because those games really go to... I mean, it's really the best when it goes together, but it's still... Especially when it goes together, it's the best classic Sonic game, in my opinion. Let's see. And let me get an extra life here. Whoa. Okay, I get it. You don't want me to come back that way. There we go. I'm going to attempt one special stage. I'm not going to try to get all the emeralds, honestly. I just want to try to get one. And, at least one. If I get more, that's fine. If I end up somehow getting them all without having to use the save feature a lot, that'll be cool, but I'm not going to attempt to get them all, that's not my plan anyway. Whoa, 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 shoot. Oh well. Because honestly, the ending that you get is really not worth it. Well, mostly if you're, if you don't have these save features, it's really not worth it. I mean, even with the save features, like, but, it's easier to deal with. If you play this on Sega Classics Collection, I think it's called, no, Sega Genesis Classics. It's a lot easier on there because you can rewind and get everything. Alright, let's see. Whee! Okay then. There was a little extra life up there, but Let's see. Hello. Oh. Got an email. Let's see here. So who all's excited for the new Sonic movie coming out? Now to be completely honest, I'm still kind of looking forward to seeing it. Hopefully it'll be one of those things where it's like enjoyably bad, because no one can really see it being good. It'd be shocking if it ended up being actually good. But what I'm saying is, what if Like, if it's going to be bad, please at least make it enjoyably bad. Is where I'm getting at. Like, hopefully, like, how should I describe this? Wow, it really felt like it was just pushing me that, even though it's starting to go the other way, it really felt like it was just pushing me that way. But anyway, I'm there. But yeah, like, I was just thinking, like, you know, well, you know, hopefully it'll be, enjoyable, even if it's not good. Hopefully it'll be enjoyable. Like, you want a movie to be good and enjoyable and stuff at the same time, but, you know, the most important thing is for it to be enjoyable. It's just that, you know, like I said, you want it to be good. You don't, like, even if you enjoy it and they decide to make, like, a sequel or something, you say, like, well, actually make this one good? You know, that kind of thing. Ah, shoot. Well, there's no special stage here anyway, so... There's this boss stage, boss at the end of this. Okay. I'm trying to remember how you can get up there. Oh yeah, you gotta, like, use the momentum. Ah, whatever. Oh, shoot. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, that was the thing about this Sonic game, was like they were trying to use it, like, you know, you could use your speed, and if you know the level pretty well, that's how the Sonic thing, you know, that's how the formula goes. Now, one of the problems is there is a lot of, like, issues with the fact that how should I say this? There's the issue that what am I trying to say here? That the level design was not exactly built around Sonic's speed a lot. Even when you know the levels pretty well and you try to speed through them, it can get a little annoying trying to navigate, you know, try to get through and try to use Sonic's speed. Let's see. But anyway, Sonic 2, I'll discuss it more when we get there, but basically it is not my favorite Sonic game of all time. It's somewhere between this one and that one. Like, I'm not a big fan of, like, okay, I think Sonic 2 is good, but not, like, that's it. I think it's good. Or okay. But anyway, this one, I think it's decent. It was a decent start. I know a lot of people try to say that Sonic 2 is just the definitive Sonic game, when it's really not. I mean, like, he goes, let me put it this way, he kind of goes too fast. I've seen this guy talking about the boost formula and stuff, and how it can be good. It's just, you know, just Sonic has always been about, like, speed has been kind of second to platforming in these older games too. Like in Sonic Adventure, and it's like the Sonic Adventure games, Sonic Heroes, and classic Sonic games. It's always been about platforming. Like, speed is a big part of it, but platforming is dominant to me. Like, that's what makes it good, was that speed was just a cool feature. But yeah, it's all about platforming, and it's like you can see how fast you can get. I mean, they were inspired by Mario, because Mario was about the platforming, and you could speed through it, and, you know, and so they wanted to build something around that. Like, hey, why don't we have this so that when the players, you know, like when the players decide to, when they want to try to speed through the level, if they know it pretty well, they can basically. They just had to figure out a way to do it. And yeah, my phone's ringing. Sorry about that, folks. Also want to apologize for any possible crackling and you know, me not being able to understand me sometimes because Elgato does that apparently. It's just these Elgato devices, not the way I treat mine. It's the way they just are. Yeah. No, 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 no. We'll just see how this goes. Someone's leaving a message, but oh well. So yeah, this Sonic, yeah. Shoot. What was I gonna say? I think the classic games are good. I think Sonic 3 is pretty great, but I prefer 3D Sonic to 2D Sonic. It obviously depends on the game. It's what the game I'm playing is, but I prefer 3D Sonic to 2D Sonic because it's mostly because I prefer 3D games to 2D games in general, and because it's obvious that like 2D games have their place, and it's just like at the time it was kind of a you know, even something like Super Mario Bros. Back in the day was just like, whoa! And then, like, everyone can contribute a lot of their gaming memories and their gaming inspirations to Super Mario Bros. Or, you know, that's kind of where it all started and stuff, but but it was mostly limitations at the time, the reason 2D games were so, you know... And 2D games in general are easier to get into, like side-scrolling, I mean. They're easier to get into because you know you have you only have like left and right, and you know it depends on the game or what else you do, but you have like left and right to go, and that's easier to control and stuff than a 3D game where you roam around, like you do all that. You know, I was trying to use a joystick there, but you know. And it's just like, which way do I go? This is so open and blah, blah, blah. Well, that was kind of where the original Crash came in. The original Crash games came in. Which was, hey, if you wanna do this, why don't you, we'll just fix it to where the 3D parts are, which I gotta say, Crash did a lot better with going from 3D to 2D, to, you know, back to 3D and stuff. Well, it's not 2D and 3D, it's more like side-scrolling and depends on how the camera is angled, but Crash did a better job at it, to be honest, than the Boost Formula Sonic games. But yeah, like, Crash, and that, you know, the original came out in '96. But I'm not saying all the Boost Formula games of Sonic are bad. It's just, wow, they're really underwhelming when you get the big picture, except for Sonic Generations. But other than that, I mean, you know, it's well, okay, where I was getting at earlier, I got a little off subject. Sorry about my ADD. I prefer games because once you get used to them, depending on the game, it gets really fun and it's just better than 2D games. You got a lot more freedom and stuff. Whereas with 2D games, yeah, they're easier to handle, but like there's not a lot of freedom to them. Like there's you just go left and right, and like when you go up and down, it's more of a, if you're jumping or you know, something like that, or if you're just going down a level. But when it comes to 3D games, there's more to them for me, and I just like them better in general, overall. But again, depends on the game. Let's see. Oh. Well, this being recorded at like on in early February, so let's see. Dear Diary. No, I would do that a lot with the gaming channel, like with the old gaming channel. Was I would just say what the date is, or either the exact date, or just say around where it is. Whoop. Whoop. Ah. Shoot. But again, this is a boss stage, so it won't really matter. Oop. Oh yeah, and this is also when there was 6 Chaos Emeralds. But I'd say there's gonna be more people knowing about this game than about Conker's Bad Fur Day or Reloaded or whatever. But I'll just, you know, 0. Okay, there's nothing. I have 0 rings. This is a bit of a problem. Oh boy. Oh boy. Yeah. Okay. There we go. Well, at least I have a checkpoint there, and I have a shield. Joo. Well. Let's see. I swear that when they made this place, it was almost like it was just straight up from Altered Beast. Oh, okay. Whoa, Sonic, why weren't you jumping there? Oh, sorry. Oh yeah, there's a thing. Yeah, bats, robotic bats. Ugh. See, now, it's stuff like that that's like bullcrap when it comes to most 2D games from this time. It's just... But, if you're... Wow. Anyway. If you know these levels pretty well, you know that bat's coming. But it seems like it'd be hard to dodge, though. But then again, that's kind of why they give you this, so that you can kind of look up and be sure. It's like, hey, let me be sure of my surroundings. I don't know. Just waiting patiently. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I might have been if I had grown up in the time of the Super Nintendo and the Sega Genesis, I feel like I might have been a Sega Genesis kid. I don't know that for sure, but I don't know. There was a lot of good stuff. For me, it kind of feels like there was more, just equal amounts of good games on both systems. Like you wouldn't be disappointed with either. I mean, it depends on your preference of game, but you wouldn't really be different. You wouldn't be disappointed with either. It feels like to me. But then again, I didn't grow up in that time period, so I don't really have a, you know. But yeah, like I grew up in the the PlayStation was coming out the year that I was born, in Japan at least, at '94. It was, like the original PlayStation was coming out in Japan. So, I was born between the releases of Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles. Since they came out the same year. Excuse me real quick, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to save it. right here, the second one. Because, whoa. Because this is on my regular account. I may make a, sometime make a, something for, like, I probably do need to make an account for, certain games. Like, what should I say, freaking, what am I trying to say here? Oh, an Xbox Live account for, Root Beer Dragon's Brewery, but I'm using my regular one because, I don't know, I have so many accounts that I was trying to make for different gaming channels and stuff. I was like, you know what? There will be a point where I need to use one because, you know, some of these games decide, hey, you can only make one account because you have to use this account. But something really dumb that they did with the 360, I can sort of understand why they did it. Or, I mean, I can understand why they do it, but it's still really dumb that they did it, and thank you. Still really dumb that they did it in general. Yeah. And the dumb thing I'm talking about is the 360, okay. If you purchase with an account, if you purchase and download the game on, if you download for the first time a game on one 360, everyone can play it on that one. But if you have to re-download it on another 360, you can still play it on your account, but you can't play it with anyone else's account. Not even joking with that. I understand why they're doing it. It's money reasons, but at the same time, that's also kind of like, what if? Let me put it this way: what if you lose or something breaks your 360? Are you just screwed? I mean, no one else can play it, just your account. I mean, I suppose that's where a family account thing comes in, but you know, still, if you have one account, like if you have a, let me put it this way: say I'm wanting to play Sonic Unleashed at some point, which I may do the 360 version, I may do the PS3, not the PS3 version, the Wii version. I don't know. I'd have to think about it though. Both are kind of, I think the game's all right, but anyway, playing the, if I wanted to play it on the 360, I would have to use this account. Which means I would have to start all over my account because of the 360 issue. That's why I haven't made one for this yet. It'll just depend. Like I made one for like yet another review show. I've made one for back when I had that channel, or not. Well, I did have a channel, but you know, back when I had that show in general. But I've also made one for. I mean, I've been using the one for. Would you no. Oh boy. Really. But I've been using the one. Well, I got an extra life apparently. I've been using that one, but like for this one, we'll just see what happens in the future. I may use it. It depends on the game, depends on the situation, depends on my mood, depends on how many times I say depends. Also depends on if I can give any good commentary in the future. I've been at this for a few years now and still probably not the best commentary. It's probably because I have a lack of another person here right now, so I don't have anyone to talk to. And talking by myself, it's just, it's alright. It gets me by, but, you know. Like, I'm able to make more of these because I have a little more free time right now. Am I about to get this Chaos Emerald? Please tell me I'm about to get this Chaos Emerald. Come on. Yes! Finally! Ugh, I'm getting at least one emerald. So whenever you're younger, things don't bother you as much, well, certain things don't bother you as much. Seems like when it comes to gaming, as an example, was what I'm about to use. Back when it first came out, I didn't really have any other way to play Sonic 1 on the go. At least this version. So when Sonic the Hedgehog Genesis came out, the one on the Game Boy Advance, it was actually, for me at the time, I thought it was actually alright. I was like, yes, I finally get to play this game on the go. You know, this version, not the Game Gear, you know, not the same thing version. Or Master System version, if you want to call it that. I mean, the game, like the Master System versions of the Sonic games, at least, were basically the Game Gear versions. Just had a bigger screen, like you could see more of the screen and stuff. And quite honestly, might be the better version. If you know, like I'm hoping if they ever release those, like the games like that on the like the Switch or something, or PS4, Xbox One, PS5, whatever the next Xbox will be called. I'm hoping they'll choose the Master System versions rather than the Game Gear versions, just because of the screen thing. But anyway, like, cause like Sonic Chaos, the Sonic 1 and 2 on the Master System was the same as the Game Gear versions. But anyway, where I was getting at earlier was Sonic. This one was released on the Game Boy Advance. The problem was it was a very bad port. Like it was looking back, it was actually a pretty bad port. But yeah, like back then, it was like, well, this is all I have to be able to play it. Like, yeah, I could have got a Sega Nomad, but those were expensive, and, you know, and my cat had to say meow to that. Yeah. There's that. The biggest problems with it was, the screen was way too close. Sonic was, like, huge on there. The music was remixed, but it wasn't a very good remix. I mean, I feel like... Oh, boy. I feel like Sonic 1... I feel like they could have used, like, a semi-bit crunch version of this music, but... I don't know. It just seemed like kind of a lazy port, I should say. There's some reviews on it. People bashing it. Like Sonic in 06 did not have a good year. Sonic 06 is still like Sonic in 2006 is having an even worse year over this past decade because people have overhated on Sonic for certain reasons. But yeah, what I was getting at was at the time, that was all I had, so it was decent enough. But then, when I was able to get Sonic, or Sega Genesis Collection on the PSP, that was when I was like, you know what? Screw off this Game Boy Advance game. I'm just sticking with this version. It's like the only thing, literally the only thing that what it had was the only thing it had over any other version at the time was the fact that it had like the spin dash from Sonic 2. But other than that, it was, you know, it wasn't very good. It was pretty bad. And the spin dash did help a little bit, but not enough to justify getting it anymore anyway. But like Sega Genesis Collection on the PSP had the same thing this does, where you can save it anywhere. You know, you had Sonic 1 and 2, not 3. not 3 for some reason. I mean, but yeah, it was just it was like it was better to have that than the thing on the Game Boy Advance. Now, there is so far only like 2 non-hacking ways to play. As far as I know of, there's only 2 ways that don't have to do with hacking that you could play Sonic 3 and Knuckles on the go. And by that I mean I actually mean like Sonic 3 and Knuckles. There's Sonic's Classic Collections, or excuse me, Sonic Classics Collection. There's that. There's Sonic, because it actually has not just Sonic's 1 through Knuckles. It also has that's bull crap. Anyway, there's that. There's what else is there? Shoot, I don't have any rings. This is a problem. It's a problem I'll be facing later on too. But yeah, and the Sega Nomad is where I was getting at. Was another choice. I think if it plays every Genesis game, then it should be able to play Sonic 3 and Knuckles. It also had Knuckles in Sonic 2. Which, are you kidding me? Well, anyway, let's see. But yeah, then you also have, I bet I'm jumping over something. Wouldn't be surprised anyway if I was jumping over something. So, yeah, those are your only 2 options to be able to play Sonic 3 and Knuckles on the go. That was absolute garbage. Oh, but these are oh yeah. I'll have to start over the stage, but... But anyway, stop. But anyway, problem with Sonic 3 and Knuckles on Sonic Genesis or Sonic Classics Collection is the fact that you can't, what am I trying to say here? Okay, there's a lot of problems with Sonic Classics Collection. You can't pause it. No, I mean you can pause it, but you have to use the touchscreen, which is simple. You just gotta touch the touchscreen. But at the same time, you know, if you don't have a long nail, it's kind of hard to pause it without the stylus, and using a stylus in Classic Sonic, that seems kind of, you know. Then you have Sonic. Shoot. But okay. You also have the fact that I'm concentrating on 2 things at once. It's kind of hard to get through this, ladies and gentlemen. It's kind of hard to do this. But when you have another problem, let me get it out here. Work properly, brain. Sonic 3 and Knuckles special stages are really hard to play, and that's kind of an important thing for completionists. I mean, maybe I happen to have a bad copy or something. I don't know that for sure, but I don't know. I feel like it just had some problems. But it's literally the only modern way to... The most modern way to be able to play Sonic 3 and Knuckles on the go without hacking anything. Oh, thank goodness I got an extra life. Oh, yeah. Oh. Okay, come on now. Come on, come on, go. Up there, up there, up there. Okay, get the checkpoint. There we go. Wish I would have got some more rings so that I could, what am I trying to say here? Wish I could have got some more rings so that I could get another extra life. Okay, I have a shield. Have plenty of rings, even though it's not going to matter if I get hit. It's only going to amount to like 20 rings or something like that. And there's also the possibility that I could just fall again. Be optimistic, people. Alright, alright. Okay. Okay. Okay, we're good. We're good. We're good. Whew. Alright then. Hey, Sylvester. Yeah. Oh, everyone's favorite zone. Let me save it here. Just in case something happens. But then again, I could use cheats and get... You know what? Game Grumps did it. I can do it too. If I end up losing all my lives and stuff, and don't want to have to get through certain levels like this, then I shall skip it. Because you know what? I don't care. Not looking for achievements right now. I've got plenty of achievements on here. Yeah, no one liked the Labyrinth Zone. I know people have liked some of the music, but I don't think I know anyone who likes Labyrinth Zone. I mean, it's also the fact that you have a limited amount of air. Ugh. I don't know where the J's are coming in whenever I'm going, ugh, you know, whatever. I could hear my animals playing in there, messing around in there. Yeah, he's very slippery too. So that's kind of, I mean, water is slippery, but you know, still. You have to be around a lot of air bubbles. I mean, there's plenty here, but it's like you want to stay around and wait for the big ones to come up because those are the only ones you can take. I mentioned this in my something I just discussed. I've mentioned this in my previous gaming channel before. Like, this is like back in 2016, but I've discussed how I was able to get into both 2D Sonic and 3D Sonic, and like classic Sonic and modern Sonic. I guess I should say it like that, because of Sonic Advance. Sonic Advance that's a great series, I gotta say. The first one is honestly my favorite. The second one would be my favorite if it wasn't for some of the flaws it has. And the third one, I feel like I need to play it again to really, like, not doing a Let's Play. Because doing a Let's Play can kind of affect your opinion a little bit. You're kind of on a time schedule thing, sort of on a timed thing. And you have to, like, talk to the audience, say if you want to. You know, you have to talk to them while concentrating on the game. But yeah, so that can be a little bit difficult. But anyway, those games were really great because they've essentially used modern, well, so what is counted as modern Sonic in, they essentially used modern Sonic in a 2D you know, game. And by that I mean it's actually 2D and side-scrolling, obviously. And, you know, that was like the first, I mean, the first made for, well, depends on how you look at it, but it was the first made for non-Sega Genesis Sonic game, officially. Well, it was either that one or Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, I mean. I don't remember for sure, but one of the, like, Sonic Adventure 2 was originally made for Dreamcast, and they just had an enhanced port for the GameCube. And a few years, and years down the line, I don't know. Anyway, they had that, but then, but like Sonic Advance, I mean, it was meant for the Game Boy Advance. I mean, like, there was the Tiger, or the, okay, so Sonic Pocket Adventure was the first one not made for a Sega game, for a Sega game system to come out. But that was back when that was back when, I think that was back when the Sega was still making the Dreamcast, so they were still making systems. But yeah, Sonic Pocket Adventure was for the Neo Geo Pocket. But it was essentially just kind of a remake. It had its own story, I think, but it was, in a way, like Mania before Mania, but it wasn't like trying to enhance stuff. It was a pocket version of Sonic 1 and 2. I can't remember if 3 was involved or not, but it had levels from Sonic 1 and 2. But Sonic Advance was actually the first to be just completely, you know, made for Game Boy Advance, not made for Sega, for a Sega console. And after Sega stopped making consoles, game system, or game. And it's a fun one at that. It did really well at making it kind of feel like the classic Sonic games while having its own modern stuff to it. And one thing it also had, that even Sonic Mania had, which is supposed to be like the classic ones, was multiple playable characters. I'm not saying a game always has to have multiple playable characters to be good. But in Sonic's case, it kind of makes it better. Yeah, Sonic's case, it definitely makes it better to have multiple playable characters. Depending on what they do. Now, what the 2D Sonic games I can agree on is the levels are the same. Something that, like, Sonic Adventure... I mean, I love the Sonic Adventure games, but something they did do right was... And what Sonic Mania did right was... You had these multiple playable characters that could do different things. They had their own little defining features. I mean, Sonic was always just the... He was always just the fast guy. I mean, that was basically if you just wanted to play Sonic. But, like, Tails, Knuckles, and Amy were there to... Just in case you wanted to, you know, spice it up a bit and give you some extra moves. It wasn't until Mania where you actually had a move that was solely for Sonic. Which was a drop dash. Which is something that they added in the Sega, in the Switch version of this Sonic. And I'd say if they release Sonic 2, they're probably going to do the same thing for that. But anyway, like, Sonic Advance was good at bringing, you know, bringing something new to 2D Sonic. And it was really good. It had really good level design. It was just great in general. Sonic Advance 2 was a bit too fast. The level design wasn't always the best. And the way you had to get all the... Sylvester, don't you dare go back there. Sylvester, come here. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. He always likes to get... Like cats, he always likes to get in areas where he doesn't need to go. I was afraid... He was kind of getting around the plugs, and I was afraid either he'd electrocute himself or he'd unplug something. And, you know, something like this, so that, you know... Why not? Yeah. I was talking about Sonic when I said why not. The way he was standing there. Okay, that's right. So the thing is, something I forgot there is don't press forward when doing that. You gotta just press the jump button or jump buttons because, you know. Opening that. Oh, you piece of garbage. Alright, so we're gonna go up here. Whoa. Whoa! Okay. What is this, Sylvester? But, like, I do enjoy playing 2D games. Time to time. I just prefer 3D games over 2D games. In general. Okay, Sonic, not fooling around. Here's something that really gets on my nerves, is whenever a big bubble doesn't come out for you in time. Ah! Let's see. Hold on, I want to do something real quick. Let me get this, yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Yep. I'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, we're back. Just had to do something real quick. Let's see. Yeah. So I think what I'm gonna do, I'm getting off subject here from what I was talking about. I know I am because oh yeah, actually I don't remember exactly what I was talking about. So, I'm thinking of, if I play a game that I've already played on the previous channel, if I play it on here again, like, play it again but on here, I'm probably going to, what I'm gonna do is, like, play it with Corey here, or whatever we're calling ourselves in the future. I mean, his name is Corey, but he may want to be referred to as City, because of a little inside joke we have. I mean, the reason this whole, channel, the whole channel's name and stuff is, I mean, that's because of a thing we came up with. Anyway, I'll be right back again, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, we're back. Just that, again, had to take care of something. Okay, bubble, bubble, bubble. Ah, I'm going down. This is ridiculous. I can't stand this. I think yeah, this one. I know some people like to say about old games how it's just like, well, you just need to get good when it comes to them. By the way, I think there's a glitch that happens if you're actually able to defeat Robotnik here. Because he's coming up, like right here. You can hit him. I think there's a point where you can actually destroy him, but... Oh boy. Yeah. You know. And the water is rising. But if you do hit him, it also can push you down, depending on how you hit him. Okay. I don't remember for sure, though, if there is a glitch or not. I'll be right back again, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about all the interruptions. We're back. Could be more interruptions, I don't know. Let's save the game here. Ah, shoot. Anyway, let's see. It's like, wait a minute. I'm sure people back then were like, wait a minute, how are you supposed to get that whenever you can't get through this? And then, I mean, anyone who first plays this doesn't know it unless they looked it up first, but yeah, that's how you do it. You go over a little bit. They decide to get a little creative with their, if you go off screen and then come back on screen, this thing reappears or resets or something. But yeah, Sonic, let's see. It's like, how should I say this? It's like way back in the day, it was, you know, Sonic and Mario were, you know, Nintendo and Sega. And they set out to make a rival for Mario, which is what they did with Sonic, and they were successful in it. Because, I mean, if I'm completely honest, I prefer Sonic over Mario. I would be one of those kids that would prefer Sonic over Mario. Which I still do. Like, I actually did start out with Mario. And believe it or not, I actually started out with Super Mario Bros. Like, dude, that's the one I started out with. But the thing is, it was the Game Boy Color version. Which again, at the time, like, I think nostalgia is probably one of the reasons I'm able to enjoy that version. Because I have heard criticisms on the fact it was sort of the same criticisms as Sonic the Hedgehog Genesis, except it was a much better port than Sonic the Hedgehog Genesis. So, yeah. Let's see. Yeah, since it was a better port, I don't know. It wasn't bad. Like, when you get used to it, it's not bad. But then again, like I said, it's probably nostalgia, the reason I can enjoy it. That was pretty dumb. Kind of a mixture of being dumb for both me and the game itself, the design. But yeah, yeah, Sonic, okay. When I got into Sonic, believe it or not, the first thing I knew of Sonic was the bubble game. Like, if you remember, they had, like, shampoo with, like, games and stuff in them, like, where you try to get the rings on the... You try to get the rings on, like, the little stands. Well, they had that for Sonic, of course, because but yeah, they had that for Sonic, and I had like a few of them. And I remember I was actually asking my dad, I was like, "What is Sonic?" And I think he probably only knew from like commercials and stuff, but of Sonic. And I think my sister used to my older sister slash oldest sibling slash only sister apparently watched some of one of the cartoons back in the day. I can't remember which one. There was like, I mean, so far there's been like 5 or 6 different Sonic cartoons. So, but yeah, but he was just like, yeah, it's a hedgehog. And that's about all I can remember from that. I can't remember if he described how it looks like a porcupine and blah blah blah, but anyway, I think it was like I was almost thinking it was like a Sonic 3D Blast look to the bubble game, because I also remember years later seeing like a Sonic Adventure themed one. Gosh, I wish we would have held on to those. I know they were just shampoo and stuff, but you know, those are probably expensive collector's items by now. Possibly. But, you know, I've never been this way. As far as I can remember. Oh, boy. But anyway, so yeah, you had, those games. That was literally my first exposure to Sonic that I can remember. Like, and I didn't even get it by choice. It was just the fact that, it was the fact that, like, I think my relative, well, one of my relatives had gotten it for me. Or gotten it for me and my brother. And, by the way, I'm the youngest in, in my family, my immediate family. What do you call it? I don't know if immediate's the word or not. But anyway, between my parents and siblings, I'm the youngest. But anyway, and I hardly have any cousins that are close. Well, anyway, getting distracted again. So that was my first thing of Sonic. My first game of Sonic was Sonic Advance. Because I remember seeing a friend of mine play it. I'm like, hey, that's really cool looking. I think I want to try it sometime. Die. This boss can really get on your nerves. It's technically not that hard. It's just like, cause you can attack him either by hitting him with one of the things he's shooting out, or yourself. But the problem is, it just gets really annoying, like how fast he goes from one side to the next, and you know. But, like, it's more of a, if you're trying to get the best time type of thing. Yeah. And, you know, at least, obviously, these things don't stay forever, so. There we go. There we go. Thought that thing was gonna come down on me and kill me. I think is it the next area that's... Yeah, it's the next area that's the last. I can do this in one part. I might just do that. I'll just do this all in one part. Yep, because we're in the scrap brain zone now. Games back then were able to be shorter because they were hard, both because they were harder, and because, you know, back in the day, you know, like, obviously at this time you also had Super Mario World, but you got to think that, like, they had a little more, you know, this was the first Sonic game, and Mario, if you try to say, well, Super Mario World had so much more to it than Sonic, well, you got to think Mario was really big, is still really big. And, you know, they had the money and resources to go, hey, we can experiment with all this stuff. But, when it comes to Sonic, it was a brand new thing. It's kind of like comparing Crash 1 to Super Mario 64, and also Sonic Adventure to, well, maybe not so much Sonic Adventure, but like Crash 1 to Super Mario 64. Mario, they had the money and resources to make a game that people consider a really incredible game. Especially for the time, it was pretty incredible. And it apparently came out a little bit before Crash, but Crash was still able to take on Mario even with the lack of knowledge that much on 3D gaming from Naughty Dog, or from anybody, but like Naughty Dog was still a fairly new company. They're working on a brand new system, and just at the time, so it's just all this stuff, and they were able to take on something that's been out for a few years and had the money and resources to make a really good game. So yeah, but I personally prefer Super Mario 64 DS. I know a lot of people are like, "That's a horrible version." I'm like, no, it's not. It is a trade-off. I'll agree, it is a trade-off to have Sonic to have to use a D-pad on the DS instead of a joystick. But honestly, the game kind of feels like it can work with either one anyway, with a joystick or a. I mean, it was originally going to be a Super Nintendo title, so using the Super Effects chip. Ugh. But yeah, you know, Super Mario 64 is okay on the N64. I like the DS version better. Whoa. Ja. A crap. This is garbage. So, why are you doing that, Sonic? I understand the momentum, but still. Why? Why would you ever do that? Oh, I wasn't going that way. Wasn't trying to go that way, I mean. Oh. I didn't press anything, it just got it correct. Maybe it was feeling pity for me, I don't know. Maybe it was just like, okay, we get it, you want to go this way. Yeah. Ow. There we go. Get these rings right here. Well, that one can live to tell the tale. Unless I'm rescuing these and they can say, he left me there all alone. I don't know. But yeah, I know it seems blasphemous to say this on the internet, but I prefer Sonic Adventure and Crash Bandicoot the original over Super Mario 64, if I'm honest. And I have played all of them during my childhood. Well, Crash 1 first, then Sonic Adventure, and then Super Mario 64. But still, I'm comparing all of them. Even though there's some people that say, like, you know, which I can agree that Crash is hard, and it had a stupid save system, but, or stupid way you had to save it. But I gotta say, it's even with having to use the D-pad, it's still better in Super Mario 64. Physics and stuff were better. Do. I don't know. But yeah, and Sonic Adventure has its problems, yes, but I prefer it over Super Mario 64 any day. The DX version, at least. The Dreamcast version, still, I might like it over the N64 version of Super Mario 64, but I don't know about the DS version, because, I don't know. I'd have to think about it. Well. Yeah, someone sat there and thought, how can we be completely evil to these people? Let's have another Labyrinth Zone. This is technically Labyrinth Zone number 4, just considered Scrap Brain Zone number 3. I can understand they want to make the last level challenging, but I will be right back, ladies and gentlemen. In 3, 2, 1. We are back. At least I got a checkpoint here. Ugh. And then one thing that really gets on my nerves is the way that whenever you have to get a ring, it's like, well, whenever you try to get a ring, to stay alive, sometimes it goes through Sonic. And yes, I am waiting on all these so I can get through this better. Or so I can go through it without having to stop a bunch. Even though I had to stop a bunch already. That's something I will say about, something I will say about the Mario games. At least they didn't give Mario an air limit. Like, for underwater. They didn't give you limited air. You're underwater. Well, you know where I'm getting at. Okay, there we go. Kind of weird glitch there. Oh, no, no, no! I'm almost there. I'm almost done with the game. Don't make me die. Where's the freaking rings? There they are. Oh, Sonic. Yeah, Alright, come on. Come on now, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, come on, come on! And there's a big bubble now! Gosh, these classic Sonic games are the best ones. Screw Sonic Adventure where it's actually fun. No, this is fun. I'm just stating an opinion on the internet. Actually, what I'm going to do now, ladies and gentlemen, is save it right here. So I can just load back that one without having to start over the whole level. I don't care if that's cheap. This is different times now. And honestly, I think that people, the reason they say, well, games should be this hard, is because they were so used to it back then, that's all they had, that they've become accustomed to it, so, you know. Games shouldn't be extremely, shouldn't have, this was back when they still had the ideology of making it like an arcade game. Even though you're not pumping in more quarters. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. Ooh. Oh no! What the fudge? Again, saving it right here so that I don't have to deal with it again. Okay. What even hit me there? Was it a spike thing that just kind of came out of nowhere? It probably was. Because arcade logic. No, that's not arcade logic, that's just dumb. Alright, Bubbles! Okay, Bubbles, let's go! Let's go here, let's go! Oh, boy. Shoot, how do I load again? Oh yeah, this thing. That kind of gets dumb. Oh yeah, I don't go that way. Ooh. It's like how slow he goes underwater to when he gets hit, and it's just like, oh, look at that! And then the bull crap. This is not fun anymore when it comes to that kind of stuff. You're just anxiety. You're having anxiety, and you have to get through it. And yeah, no. Again, ladies and gentlemen, I don't care how cheap this is. I do not care how cheap this is. This is the way I'm going to play it. If Game Grumps could skip levels, I'm thinking I can do that. I mean, part of that is Aaron sucks at video games most of the time, but, you know. Don't hit me, don't hit me, don't... Air Bubbles! Come on now! Come on now! Come on, let's go! Dear Lord. Gosh, I can't stand that stuff. Let's make his... Yeah, no, and it's funny, though, that the reason that Sonic can't swim well is because they thought that hedgehogs couldn't swim. But it turns out they're actually pretty good swimmers. They're no fishes or anything, but they're pretty good swimmers. Now, honestly, when you know what to do in this one, it's actually not hard at all. I mean, yeah, you do have to deal with that. Possibly getting hit like that, but... it's actually really not hard when you know what to do. Now, it does get kind of annoying, like, if you accidentally miss him, you know. There we go. Duh. And this didn't really feel completely evened out here. I don't know. Oh boy. But it's actually not that bad of a boss, like in terms of it's got its challenge, but it doesn't feel that much like a final boss. But this is the first game. What do you expect? Probably better, but you know. I mean, with Super Mario Bros, you had Bowser. You had Bowser being just about all the bosses. I mean, in terms of like, of course, it turns out that they're actually clones imitating Bowser, trying to trick Mario. You know how much crap that is? That is complete crap. Okay, here we go. Whoa. Okay. I still keep forgetting how many times you actually have to hit him. I'm sure there's people that know, but... Okay. What? Oh, come here. But yeah, you have Bowser's minions posing as Bowser. I mean, it's literally the same boss each time, so At least this one, you have different bosses. But then again, this came out years later than Super Mario Bros. Finally. And that's an optional thing you can do. Just each and every time we like to do it. There we have it, folks. The original Sonic the Hedgehog. And literally the only thing that changes in terms of the if you get all the emeralds. Oh, Lord. Oh, stretching. Anyway, in terms of getting all the emeralds, the only thing that changes is how should I say this? The only thing that changes is he throws them all up, flowers grow, he looks around all freaked out looking, and then does the same thing. And then something from Game Grumps, let's see. Like, look at this one, biggest land. I think it's Big Island, though. I mean, unless they did go by biggest land. That's just... I bet part of that is because the way island is spelled, it has a silent S. So, that's kind of the English language's fault. Yeah, Big Island. Just when Aaron goes, his name's like this biggest land or something. And then like Danny corrected him, it was funny. Anyway. What a fun time. It's like the first, it's usually in these classic Sonic games, it's usually the first few levels that are the best, and then like the later ones get kind of, you know. So, presented by Sega. Try again, maybe next time. Yeah, I only got one emerald there, I know. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let me get to the title screen here, as soon as it'll let me. I guess it's not letting me. Oh yeah, it's probably because this is a... Is it seriously not letting me go anywhere with this? Okay then, well, thanks. There we go. There was a thing. Well, anyway, I'll show that I already got some of the... Did I get all the achievements? No, I didn't get all the achievements, I don't think. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. I don't remember. Yeah, I didn't. Under 35 seconds, beat Marble X Zone in under 80 seconds. I don't know how anyone's supposed to be able to do that, unless you use cheats. But I'd say they'll just disable it if you beat the game without dying. Yeah, sure, okay. I don't know if you can use cheats or not to do that, but they're asking for some pretty impossible stuff. But anyway, thanks for watching, and grab yourself a cold root beer. And have a good time. I'm developing that one. I'm still, you know, when it comes to closing these out.